Battens.
Yeah, a few guys missing, but most importantly this evening, Dominico Duro, Sebastian Grazzini, they need to make impact performances. They went missing last Wednesday.
Yeah, no Gibbs, no Gargan, no Pardo for the Fire. How about Ben Olsen's side in DC United?
The young coach has two very, very good forwards and a Dwayne Di Rosario and a Josh Wolf. 19 goals and 18 assists combined between the two of them. They're going to give this work shift Fire back line a run for their money.
There's a guy that's given Fire fans a lot of their money this year with his performance. Let in a bad goal by his standards last match, but we're looking at the future of U.S. soccer. The 22-year-old is the veteran Sean Johnson. How about this guy, Bill Hamid, 20 years old, a Virginia native right out of the DC United Youth Academy. It's going to be fun to see the two youngsters go toe-to-toe. And Evan, our Toyota keys to the match, what do you have for us?
One key, it's all about attitude. The Fire, we've talked about it, the long stretch, the letdown against Seattle in the US Open Cup. They had a flat performance against against Dallas. They have to have a positive attitude, winning mentality this evening.
Positive attitude from the home fans, a great MLS club that began way back in 1996.
Then you saw the keepdcunited.org tifo displayed by the wonderful fans for DC United. They're trying to get a stadium for this club and keep them here in the area.
So we are at historic Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium. DC United bringing it into the box for the first time of the evening. Stephen King was looking to direct it towards goal. Clyde Sims, service into the box and leaping there, looking to give DC United the 1-0 lead. Not a surprise that Dayro's at the end of the ball.
Yeah, it really is, and this is an electric start for the United. Dayro been so dangerous on so many teams this year. He's found a home, I think, here at DC United. This is not the start, really, that the Fire are looking for. They want to get a hold of this game, get a little bit of possession, take the vigor out of the United early on.
Handball on DC United. Marco Papa. Patrick Nyako. The little chip to Dominico Duro. Tries to go back to Nyako, but intercepted by the black and red of DC United. Marco Papa, 8 goals on the season for the Guatemalan Marco Papa. Saw him pick up the hat trick against Real Salt Lake. It seemed like some of his confidence and swagger had kind of gone away. It's good to see that swagger back from Marco.
Such a good player, such a good performer. You know, we were pretty hard on him in the middle of the season after the Gold Cup performance. Kind of, like you said, lost that swagger for the Fire, but great performance against Real Salt Lake. Picked up the hat trick. You see him playing here more centrally. Hopefully he'll get a lot of touches on the ball with Saba tonight. Really work with Nyako and Oduro up top.
It's good to have a head coach like Frank Klopas who understands about scoring some goals and talking about Marco Papa, as he thinks that sometimes guys like Marco, they just think too much, and that's the last thing you want to do as a goal scorer. Just trust your natural reactions and instincts, but those things kind of go away when you lose your confidence.
Yeah, you know, as the season wears on and get in the thick of things, one bad performance, one bad result, it starts to wear on you. So you have to have a selective amnesia, really, as a player up top, and just kind of think and be in the now, and just what's happening next, what am I doing right now? That's hopefully where Papa is now.
There's Frank Klopas, the technical director and interim head coach. And the more you talk to Frank and you listen to his passion, just reading between the lines, you get the idea that this guy really likes the gig close to the touchline, not just up above from the press box as the technical director.
Well, you said it. You know, we spoke to him in the hotel this afternoon. He has such enthusiasm and passion for the game. I thought he's done very well taking over the Fire. The additions of Pardo, Grazzini. He's made some pretty savvy moves and substitutions and really got this team gelled the second half of the season. So kudos to interim head coach. Interesting to see what the Fire man can do for the following season.
There's the man who's a face that's well recognized in Major League Soccer. First season, though, as the head guy, Ben Olsen.
Yeah, very capable individual, Ben Olsen. Benny Olsen and I have known each other since college days playing in the ACC. Very, very good player. He's done quite well at United. A lot of people, had their doubts, such a young coach, but he's managing the personalities here. I mean, he has Charlie Davies, Dwayne De Rosario, Josh Wolf. These are not timid individuals, and he's doing quite well managing this group.
And he was doing a better job managing the group until Chris Pontius went down with a fractured tibia back in early September. He was just providing great passes and giving some tap-ins to Charlie Davies. So DC United has struggled to find their form without Pontius dropping the last 3 matches. Josh Wolf, the captain, former member in red, scored the lone goal back at Toyota Park in the first meeting between these two teams. Sebastian Grazzini scored the first goal of the game in the 59th minute for the Chicago Fire. As slow attack for DC United coming down the near side. Daniel Woolard, Austin Deleuze. Stephen King is forced to track back, and that allows Patrick Nyako to steal it. Papa under duress, but gets the nice ricochet. Caught me for a moment. Who's number 21 out there? It's been a while. We saw Mike Videra at the beginning of the season frequently, but hasn't seen the field a lot, although he did go a full 90 against Houston on the road.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for him. He started off in the starting 11, and he kind of dropped into the traveling squad of 18 in the middle of the season there. Totally off the radar, really just getting his time with the reserves. It's good to see Michael Videra. He's a pretty versatile player. He's a great ball.
As Grazzini was trying to hit Patrick Nyako.
We'll see Videra here being called on for his defensive duties. He's really a center midfielder. He does well to step up there and win the ball. One thing that's nice about having a player like Videra slot into the back line is that as a midfielder, he's very comfortable with the ball on his foot. So Nikolic, Papa will have no problem playing balls back to him, and he'll be expected to play out of trouble.
You see Chris Korb send the pass through. It was Chris Korb who moments ago made that brilliant defensive play. The right back position for DC United. Not a surprise. He's one of the 7 draft choices in MLS this year out of the University of Akron. His Korb 22 in black.
Don't throw that on the field, Max.
They'll roll it back to Hamid. Things have slowed down after a choppy start by the Chicago Fire, with DC United getting a couple looks at goal. De Rosario. It'll be interesting watching Julio Anibaba and how he handles the savvy veteran.
D-Ro has free will to do what he wants out there. You'll see him dropping off the front line. Playing up top as a number 9 striker. Just going where he can to create those chances.
Clyde Sims, last year, became the 6th player in DC United history to play in over 150 matches. De Rosario looking for support. Stephen King. Brandon McDonald. Palladini and Pause getting in the way for the Chicago Fire. King works it into the middle. Josh Wolf. Touched on now, Daniel Woolard. De Rosario. Met there by Nikolic and Anibaba, so he spits it out wide. Turn back in, Jalil Anibaba. Able to move it out of the box. Clyde Sims and DC United threatening. Sean Johnson coolly leaping out to grab it. And a quick transition, Marco Papa. Trying to catch the home side on their heels. Papa falling drilling down over the ball and was helped down a little bit. Whistled.
Ever so slightly, McDonald catching Papa's right boot there. Nothing too serious, but hopefully the Fire can maintain some possession. These first 10 minutes been heavily in favor of the United as far as possession is concerned.
Jalil Anibaba. Take it back. Frank Klopas, interim head coach, talking about how the line of press may drop this evening so we can have more room to generate pace, something that his side had trouble generating that pace against Dallas.
Yeah, you know, the Fire have been so dangerous with Duro and Nyako, the pairing of all that speed up top, and teams are starting to drop off. So it's essential that players like Marco Papa, Sebastian Grazzini, they pick that ball up in front of that back line, take some shots from outside. I'm sure we'll see Palladini take a few shots from outside. Hopefully Sabo will do the same. Suck that United defense back up, create that space behind for those balls over the top that we're so used to seeing, where Duro is the most potent getting most of his goals.
Video so important now in scouting. Fire have had such a positive run lately. You know that a team like DC United are up next, the final home match of the season, October 22nd. The Columbus Crew, they are looking at a lot of the footage of that tape against Dallas because they certainly figured out the Fire. Nahar, the 18-year-old, that service out of range. Sean Johnson will grab it. Well, speaking of that final home match of the season, don't miss our Chicago Fire for Breast Cancer Awareness Night when they take on those Columbus Crew at Toyota Park on Saturday, October 22nd, 7:30 p.m. The first 5,000 fans through the gates will receive a Chicago Fire foam finger, courtesy of General Mills. For more information, call 888-MLS-FIRE or visit chicago-fire.com. It's a shame you can't be on the sidelines as a roaming reporter that night. I know you'd have that foam finger in display.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective, Evan, for you. What's it like at Toyota Park to be that close? Do you hear the fans? Do you hear the noise? Do you hear the individual shouts?
Yeah, you really do. I mean, the Fire fans, so spectacular. Last Wednesday being on the sideline, heard a lot of words of encouragement, a lot of jeers even, you know, the spectators trying to urge their guys on. It was quite a flat performance. We're seeing a little bit of a flat performance at the start of this game here as far as possession's concerned. Fire's not being able to get a hold of this ball and move it around.
You never played at Toyota Park though, right, Evan?
I did not have the pleasure of playing at Toyota Park.
Austin Deleuze trying to turn it in. Jalil Anibaba has been spot on with his defensive touches, but now it's Dayro trying to generate. Marco Papa and Logan Paz teaming up. Sebastian Grazzini will angle it coolly ahead. Sabo gets it right back. He just kind of slows down the game and dictates the pace to 10 in red.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially at this point in the game. It's so important for the Fire to get their feet under them, hold this ball.
Videra to Papa. Looking for an open lane. Marco Papa, the left foot, and it skips into Bill Hamid, but a feat in itself for Papa just to find that open shot.
Working against the two United defenders there. They all know he wants to go left. They're going to push him to right as much as possible, but that's the kind of player that Marco Papa is. He still found a way to get that left-footed shot off, so it's good to see him early getting involved.
Intended for De Rosario. And we look at Marco again fighting through traffic.
You know, you see them shading him right there. He still is able to quick little feint, get that shot off. Not a lot of power on it. Still good to see early.
He doesn't always have to beat the keepers with power. We saw that in his hat-trick performance against Real Salt Lake. He did score a powerful finisher, the third goal, but not all of them from Marco end up buried in the back of the net. It's Grazzini. Changing the point of attack. Now back into the box. Oduro was looking for it. Chested down by Deleuze. It's the 5'9" Josh Wolf. Nikolic guarding De Rosario. Pass. Knocked down in the middle by this guy, Daniel Woolard, who careens his way towards the box. De Rosario looking for other options. Wolf. Pause. Gets in his way. Wolf again taken down in the box, and the fans upset over the non-call here in D.C.
One of the Fire fans at the Globe Pub are equally as upset for that flop there by Josh Wolf in the box. Obviously, the referee saw it, waved it off. I'd like to see the yellow card come out there. He's trying, obviously, to draw the penalty kick.
Big hello to all Chicago Fire fans at the watch party at the Globe Pub. Clyde Sims, and again, Jaleel, not a lot of mistakes with the ball at his feet in the box, and now it's Sebastian Grazzini. He's got Oduro ahead. Dominic Oduro takes the perfect pass, and the long shot gets a little underneath it from distance.
Well, that's what the Fire need. They need these counterattacks. Get the ball into your playmaker, Grazzini. Watch this little feint he does here. It's very subtle, but he kind of looks off, plays that ball into the space for Oduro. Oduro, you want to see him do better with that shot, but that guy Grazzini, so clever, crafty. Love to see him get a lot of touches this evening.
If you're a young soccer player, Evan, wouldn't you tell them to watch a guy like Sebastian Grazzini? You don't have to use those obvious fakes, but he has those subtle little head feints that you speak about, and he does a lot of them, and they work so well.
Well, I think it's the hair also. You know, he likes to get that mane back and forth, so.
He does have some of the best hair in all of Major League Soccer. He just looks like a rock star, doesn't he?
He looks like a South American soccer player, you know?
He's got the rock star nickname, Sabo.
It's a nice turn by Logan Paz there.
Gonzalo Segares. Oduro. Pause again. Patient build-up here for the Chicago Fire. So now Daniel Palladini. Nyako. See, he gets that ball. There's two DC United defenders right on him.
You see this defensive shell. We talked about opposition sitting back on the Fire because they don't want to get exposed the space and speed behind them. You see all 11 of the United players behind the ball here. Nice defensive shape. Ben Olsen will be looking at this on Monday, congratulating his team. The Fire individually have to find ways to break this down. That means a Grazzini or a pop-up, beating a player one-on-one, making another player step up to commit, and then putting the ball into that gap.
Join Apple Vacations in RIU hotels and resorts for an incredible trip of quality and value. Pay one incredible price for an all-inclusive getaway, including non-stop flights, hotel accommodations, drinks, all meals, entertainment, and more, thanks to RIU and Apple Vacations.
You know, the ball has been played out of bounds. Michael Videra has taken a knee. It's like Cuesta's coming in. There was a shot earlier of Videra. You see that there. It's disappointment and frustration. We talked about his ins and outs of the lineup, just now getting back into it. He's had some sort of obvious muscle strain or pull.
So we trade one man who's become an unfamiliar face on the field. with another unfamiliar face who we haven't seen for a while, and Jameet Cuesta.
Yeah, it looks, talking to Dr. Munoz there, Fire medical staff, probably some sort of quad or groin, maybe low abdomen. It's too bad though to see Vidaurri. A great chance at the end of the season to show Klopas that he can do his thing. He's versatile. He can be there for the Fire when they need him, regardless if it's midfield or defense. It's part of sports, unfortunately. You know, just sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way.
That's the bad news. I guess the good news is now it's an unexpected time for Jameet Cuesta to show the Fire what he can do. He was seeing a lot of the field earlier in the season.
Yeah, he's a young defender, I think. He probably hasn't acclimated as well as Nani Baba has. But a very promising back, strong, has a pretty decent field presence. Hopefully, him and Mikulich will be able to work together well and deal with Wolf and De Rosario. You can see Bo. They're working on the, looks like a groin or quadriceps strain. It's too bad for Vidaurri.
It's Cuesta's first match since September 17th when he played 45 minutes in the 3-2 win against his old club there, as you see, Chivas USA. 20th match, and he started 18 times as Cuesta. De Rosario. Jalil Anibaba. Just noticed him, and he's really stood out. Having number 6 Jalil after a couple shaky performances, but he seems spot on tonight.
Yeah, we just saw a really strong tackle there on De Rosario. It's a nice piece of skill by Naha.
Nahar's shot gets blocked, and Logan Paz roll it away. Here is Dominic Oduro, and it's right on. It's a simple one for Bill Hamid. Still going hard at the goal, or Dominic Oduro on the Chicago Fire. Still a glimmer of playoff hope. They need to win the final 2 games. They need to score a lot of goals, and they need some breaks as they chase the New York Red Bulls and DC United. DC United is in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, their longest of the season. So they pretty much need to win their final 3 games. That's the good news, is DC United does have that extra game.
And even here, this is Oduro's chance. It's a nice ball in by Nyako, but even still, we're not getting these balls behind the defense. United defense still doing a good job staying between Oduro, in between Oduro and the goal. And that's forcing Oduro to take shots like that, which are not his strength. Tough giveaway here.
Nahar, he can move. Gonzalo Segares, very physical on the kid, and look at Gonzalo strip him of the ball. Nahar gets the throw in, but Gonzalo Segares, pretty good 1v1 there on the kid.
Yeah, I mean, Segares is such a good defender. He's been a stalwart all year, very consistent. You know what you're going to get from this guy. Looks like a pretty decent tackle by Cuesta there, and a little bit of a flop that draws the foul.
Stephen King went down for the home side. So Cuesta and the men in red will assume the position here on this free kick.
Imagine McDonald, the target, big man on the back post. De Rosario, of course, slashing in.
Nahar, the low service, and it's an easy clear for Logan Paz. Grazzini nicely ahead to Nyako. He's got Papa down the right side. Papa waits. Papa turns. Fires! Big save right on, but it had some heat behind it. Bill Hamid answers back. As Anibaba and Grazzini. Marco Papa, he had all times of time there in the box, and he waited to the precise moment when he can get the shot through, and it looked like patience paid off there for Marco. He just couldn't get it away from Hamid.
Well, yeah, you know, he had that opportunity to take the shot the first time with the right foot. It's a good ball in. But right there, a lot of people give him, listen to this, listen to this. I mean, Papa got all of that there. A lot of people give him a hard time about his favorite left foot, but you know, he is a very technically sound player, capable of hitting the ball with his right foot. You heard it there.
Thumping off those gloves of Bill Hamid. Grazzini, he's been his usual nifty self in the middle of the park. But this time it's Wolf, DC United attacking. Josh Wolf, the trailer is De Rosario. From distance, golfed over the crossbar off the right foot of Clyde Sims.
Sims, a United veteran, been around for quite a while, but a lot of injuries. It's good to see him back on the field. He's the sharply dressed Ben Olsen.
I'd say the hippest dresser of all Major League Soccer coaches.
Well, he's the youngest coach. He's probably the thinnest. So I think that helps him a lot. He wears the suit well, European cut. Although Frankie Colfax,
I was just gonna say,
you know, this guy, you know, we talked to him today in the hotel. He had just gone on a 5 or 6 mile run. Very fit himself.
Big Josef Mikulic down on the field.
I like Mikulic's game in the middle of the defense there. I think he's the only defender I know who goes down once a game. He always seems to get some sort of knock once a game. Usually your center back is this, you know, he's obviously big, but he's usually this really hardcore, tough guy. Mikulic definitely can dole it out, but you see him go out. You see him go down a lot. It's interesting.
He goes in the air a lot, and that's how he suffered that knock. Mikulic off the free kick. 27th minute. We're scoreless at RFK Stadium, Washington, D.C. Next to Evan Whitfield, I'm Dan Kelly, Comcast Sportsnet crew. Great to have you along for the final 2 regular season matches of the season. Sebastian Grazzini showing his trickery, but finally a little too much, and DC United solving that problem.
Keep it, keep it. Hey, come on, Danny, don't let it out.
Deleuze. De Rosario fouled by Palladini, and Ben Olsen is right there in the official's face.
Palladini making no real effort to play that ball. Referee just giving him a little warning about his elbow coming up. It's a pretty smart foul there by Palladini. He's going to get beat. He knows it. It's a nice, clever little flick.
Is that called getting your money's worth, Evan?
That is called getting, and that's what I like about Palladini. He does get his money's worth. He's not, you're not going to see a yellow card for dissent for him so often. It's usually going to be some sort of foul, taking a piece of somebody.
It was pretty cool following Daniel Palladini to the team bus after that gutsy 3-0 win over Real Salt Lake a couple weeks ago. He looked bruised and battered. His legs had trickles of blood, ice packs all over the place. And of course, he felt pretty good because he got that little headbutt from Kyle Beckerman and helped his team win the big match on the road.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they were playing a man out. I'd say that was one of Palladini's better performances in the year. He's very, very good at it.
Say what you will about soccer, but a lot of people do, as you know. But no pads, no rests on the bench, just 90 minutes to fight.
It's a man's game, that's for sure.
Quiet leader, Gonzalo Segares. Pause in Segares, now it's Sebastian Grazzini. We'll talk with Logan Paz coming up during our halftime. Usually see highlights of Sebastian Grazzini at halftime, but no goals so far. He scored the only goal in the 2-1 loss to Dallas in the last outing for Chicago. Is a little edge on the passing for Frankie's boys. Now into the box, Grazzini to Papa, turns and rips it wide.
It's a good ball by Paz, though, and Segueras getting up the field. A little miscommunication here. Grazzini, Papa, nearly colliding. There's that left foot again. Papa seeing the goal, which is very, very nice. Still hasn't really gotten that great look we're all hoping for.
Seems a couple instances tonight. Marco and Sebastian Grazzini have kind of gotten crossed up in each other's way.
Well, you know, they're not the same player, but they're similar players. You know, they're both technical. They want the ball in their foot, and they want the ball. So with Papa pinching in a lot, they're going to kind of cover the same ground a little bit. They're going to have to work that out.
Segueras, possession has been better lately for the men in red, but now it's De Rosario.
That's a great tackle by Palladini there.
Palladini has been in Dayro's face here in the first 30-plus minutes of the match.
And that's good. You need to be physical with a player like that. You don't want him to get into a rhythm. The D-Rose show starts rolling. It's very dangerous. You want to break that up. Little fouls, little bump here and there.
This is Marco Papa. Jalil Anibaba trying to take two defenders with him to goal, but instead they grab the ball, and now it's Josh Wolf the other way. Dwayne De Rosario returning to Wolf, making a late run down the far side is Nahar. Stephen King will distribute outside. De Rosario, the bicycle, Mikulich the block, and Cuesta outletting to an extended Logan Paz. Patrick Nyako. Dominic Oduro making a run, but was well covered by the black and red. Drum beating here late in the first half. At RFK Stadium, still scoreless. Dwayne De Rosario. As Mikulich gets in his way.
Here's the chance from De Rosario. Controls it nicely with his chest, and Mikulich puts his body on the line there. Very important to break that up. A little contact, ball to hand, but you're not going to see that whistled. No intent. All his limbs were in close to his body.
Marco Papa. Little miscommunication. What's Dominic griping about? You don't see him gripe a whole lot.
It's obviously been some sort of off-the-ball contact here. McDonald's man marking Oduro. Probably took exception with a little knock. Yeah, see, that's unnecessary little trip. Oduro is much stronger than that. He's not going to fold over like a cheap suit, so he's trying to draw a card there, but it's good to see Oduro be chippy and get into this game.
DC United wearing black, moving up the middle. Clyde Sims, Dwayne De Rosario. Austin Deleuze was the intended recipient, but it's Jalil Anibaba. Jalil playing some gamesmanship with Deleuze. So he didn't keep that ball in initially as Deleuze. Into the box, Mikulich has De Rosario all tied up. You see the physical confrontation there. Again, Brandon McDonald on Dominic Oduro.
He's actually doing a really good job playing against Oduro. When you're playing against a player who's that fast, you know, you want to make the contact the second he gets the ball. You know, you want to knock him off balance. You want his back to be toward goal because that's not his strength. You definitely don't want to allow him to collect the ball and create a cushion so he can turn at you and use his speed to get by you. So McDonald definitely has done his homework. He's definitely has an upper hand his first 35 minutes of the game against Oduro.
Anything to slow the man down if you're DC United. Rosini trying to get it over to Papa. He gets some help from Nyako to keep possession. The Virginia Tech native, or rather product, Patrick Nyako. Dominic Oduro, product of Virginia Commonwealth, and this long test from goal, bounding wide of Bill Hamid's net.
We talk about how much and how deep the United defense is sitting, and shots like these, not necessarily that dangerous, but they're gonna, the more dangerous those shots are, the more they are on target. It's gonna force that United defense to come push up into the midfield a bit more. Hopefully, players like Nyako or Oduro will be able to find that space. Nice little balls over the top of Rosini.
Baba can't get it out. De Rosario, good containment along the near touch line. Spreading things out to Woolard. And turnover. It's Logan Pause ahead to Dominic Oduro. It's Chris Korb showing good speed to track back for DC United. Korb will turn ahead. Austin Deleuze. De Rosario. And Nikolic staves him off.
You know, we talked about the McDonald-Oduro matchup, Fire's offensive end. Nikolic, De Rosario, it's a great matchup as well. And Nikolic doing very well his first part of the game, getting the upper hand. You saw the block there, blocked. De Rosario's attempt at the flying scissor kick. Stepped up a few times on him in the open field, so he's doing very well.
The first corner of the night for DC United, I believe, here already in the 37th minute. Loose ball, Jalil Anibama felt the doubt, and he just gets it out.
You know, as much possession as United have had this first half, haven't been terribly threatening on goal. It's gonna be a long throw here. This is almost like a corner kick.
Pause. Will knock it out. Korb moving up. Brandon McDonald trying to bring it into the box. Denied entry. And this guy, you think Dan Gargan could throw the ball a long way? Chris Korb, the University of Akron product, there doesn't get a chance to show off his arsenal, but he can bring it in. Nahar. Stephen King. Back for Nahar. Brandon McDonald and DC United. Some relaxed possession here. Trying to bring it into the box for Dayro and company. Cleaning things up is Anibaba. 15 goals is Dwayne De Rosario's best of his MLS career. Right now he is at 14, and he is animated and not shy about directing traffic out there on the field. As you can see, look at the move. Dominic Oduro, the long flick, big rebound, and Bill Hamid finds it just in the nick of time.
on both players' part there. Oduro definitely should have taken that ball in further. It's a great move here. He picks us up. McDonald's nowhere. Take a few extra touches. Get into goal. You can't side fit it past the goalie who's 6'3" from outside the 18. And having a bit of a nightmare there, collecting that ball. Mead does well to clean up his own mess.
What a move, as you mentioned initially, on Brandon McDonald. This is Gonzalo Segares. He has Oduro and Grazzini and Papa heading towards the box. Dominic Oduro. Segares lofting it in. Out of Oduro's range.
Yes.
Quick throw in from Jalil Anibaba here in the 40th minute. See a good look at the field here. RFK Stadium. It's a little chopped up compared to, at times, looks like a perfect grass carpet at Toyota Park.
Fire a little bit spoiled. Facilities at Toyota Park.
Wolf attacking against Mikulich. Wolf goes wide, slots the pass through, but again, there to save the day was Jimmy Cuesta.
The old dog still has legs. It's good to see Josh Wolf, former Fire player. Mikulich a little bit flat-footed, but Cuesta does well to clean up the backside there. His ball watching a little bit. It's good he won the ball. He wasn't really aware where De Rosario was, but important that he got to that first.
Nahar Johnson was out to punch it. Coming in for DC United with a look at goal.
This is a good ball by Nahar. You want your goalie to come out extra strong there. Aaron Hyde definitely be speaking to Johnson about that half.
Perry Kitchen, the 19-year-old and MLS Rookie of the Year candidate, who stepped up and had the best positioning on that ball. As shots, advantage fire, here late in the opening half.